Want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They check second to 10.
Hey.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back... The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is, and that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care, and when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
From the 38, Jackson looking left side. He's got it complete. That one a first down pickup of 8. They'll run on first down. Rodriguez. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
On second down now, it's Rodriguez, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Here's Jackson to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Miles. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. James has got it. Complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get 17. In the line. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
They should have put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. And
a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kamal Ishmael. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
So out now come the Lions. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
The defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Did your high school have that saying, push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Doesn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Looking to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Switch up, switch up.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
All day, every day, any day.
Jackson on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. And to give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. They'll look to throw here. Sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Jackson from the shotgun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On 1st down, Rodriguez. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They go play action with Jackson. Trying to lay one up deep. It's caught at the 10. It's a gain of 34.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, past the 20, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown. And
now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive, looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions defense gearing up as they take the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, they're 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Throwing is Jackson. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Phillips. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. From the 44, Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 34. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They'll come out in the pistol. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Jackson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw is Jackson, and this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 36. Back to throw here. flush to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now back to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll throw now on the final play. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The first down pass. Complete to number 22.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They're going to look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, Brian Flores going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the post.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rhodes looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Ready. 8-3. Come to my work. We want it. Come in.
Off play action. Rhodes. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rhodes. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So here come the Lions now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Stepping up, he'll try and run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 8.
They'll set up a throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Right here, right here. Kill.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chargers getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They had 2 straight 1st downs. Now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Here's Jackson to throw. And fights him off. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
A try here for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. 2nd and 2.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the 1st. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Jackson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Jackson now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Bring it, guys. Mike 51, Mike 51. You must get a touchdown.
Throwing now is Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Lions, they make